All I want to say to the Falconator is that it's not my fault that we're coming on at 3:19 this afternoon. It's one more and I'm out of here. I'm Dan Carroll. Let's open this up. There you go. First one of 2025. And I can't tell you how ready to roll I am because of all this shit. I mean, we are 5 days into this new year, and the amount of shit that has already happened has pissed me off so fucking bad. I'll let you have a few opening words, but then I'm ready to rock. Jason Kiefer, take it away. From the One More and I'm Out of Here studios.
It is.
This is how my new year's going to start. I mean, look, I could come on here and be all, oh, it's the new year, you know, cheery and happy and all that shit. But I'm pissed, man.
Chill, baby. Chill.
This is complete. This is going. I mean, it is complete bullshit in so many ways, and we're going to talk about it today.
I was hoping we were going to start out a little bit hot.
You are El Fuego. I mean, you are on fire.
Are you ready to start?
It's like,
you want to say hello, or should we just go?
Dude, I'll tell you what. I think you're right on the money because just when you thought shit couldn't get any worse, and you're like, we won the election, everything's cool, let's just get through the election, right? What has happened? I mean, they've essentially made the White House Walmart or put wheels on. I feel like the White House is a trailer park. That's what I really think.
Well, let me start with this.
Well, here, let me start with this.
Okay, go ahead.
You start with that.
Go ahead. Jason Kiefer, take it away.
Andrew accused me of pocketing money that he does.
I did not accuse you.
We're starting.
No. I did not accuse you of pocketing money. I asked you a question. Did you pocket the money? I never accused you of pocketing the money.
You asked a question. That was accusatory.
You asked. Oh,
I mean, I went in this year and came out.
That's
that
right. I asked you. You asked me for some. Down. You settled down. You asked me to do you a solid. I did you a solid, and I just said, did that solid get passed away along?
Yes, it got passed along.
Okay, then.
And the veterans are very appreciative.
Oh, give me a break. I'd scratch my back.
Well, you got something about.
Okay.
All right. I love veterans, but what I like is, I just want to make sure.
I'll go sit over here and go fuck myself then. Jesus Christ. All right. Happy New Year, motherfuckers.
Now you're fired up.
Yes.
And Dan's fired up.
I was already fired up before.
It's like someone slipped you to a Viagra in here. You guys are ready to go.
All right. So let's just set the stage here real quick. So we get up on New Year's Day and what do we see? Terrorist attack in New Orleans. Some douchebag in a rented car, an electric car, goes screaming down. Did you see the video of how fast he was going to?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
Did you know that one of the victims was a relative of second cousin to like King Charles?
Yeah, the guy over there.
It was a British guy.
Got his nuts cut off.
Okay, well, there were a lot of other fucking victims. Who cares?
All right,
they're all victims.
But as I have heard this discussed on talk radio, on television, internet, I'm hearing the word connected with this that, oh my God, there was a tragedy in New Orleans. I'm really tired of people using that word to describe what happened. Let me read to you from dictionary.com. Tragedy, a noun, a lamentable, dreadful, or fatal event or affair, calamity, disaster. Okay, remember that word calamity. And there's a couple alternate definitions, and I just combined them all. Any literary composition, often in verse, dealing with a serious, somber theme, typically involving a great person destined to experience downfall. The tragic or mournful or calamitous event of drama, literature, generally of or of life. Okay, now the two words that in this definition of tragedy, the one word that pops up there twice is the word what? Calamity. Okay, so what is calamity? Calamity is a noun. Okay, from the dictionary.com, a great misfortune or disaster as a flood or serious injury. Then I said, well, what about the Cambridge Dictionary? The Cambridge Dictionary, calamity, a serious accident or bad event. So when you talk about a tragedy, someone deciding on purpose to drive their pickup truck down a crowded street and plow people over and kill 15 people and wound dozens of others is not a tragedy.
Correct.
That is an attack by a terrorist fucking scumbag.
Yet the FBI came out immediately and said this isn't terrorism.
Yeah.
And the press conference was horrific.
Yes. and that's
And
a
that,
shithole
we
to
have. Do
get
we have
to.
that clip? I don't know.
Is that
who's the
special
show.
agent in charge nose ring? That one?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
Talking
have.
about-
Yeah.
I actually didn't. I pulled it and I didn't want to show it, only in the fact that she's a fucking idiot.
Well, and that
Where was
ties
she?
in.
Let me ask you this though: where was she on day 2?
And they said they may not.
I think they gave her the hook.
Yeah, where was she?
I
There
think-
was. I was watching an FBI news
She got
conference
promoted.
today before I came here.
God damn
She
it.
was
You're-
nowhere.
Do you do coke?
She was nowhere to be seen. It's amazing,
I
isn't
love
it?
it. I
That when
fucking
shit,
love
when
it. I'm
shit
here
gets
for it.
real.
Dan.
When shit gets real, when the shit hits the fan, what happens to DEI?
Dan. She got-
DEI is like, oh, see you later. Now, maybe we got to get serious.
We're gonna
now.
get
Dan-
into DEI.
Dan-
You all want to fuck around with that? You
Dan-
go ahead. But when the shit gets real, DEI takes a back seat.
Dan, I don't want.
That's all there is to it.
I don't want to throw gasoline on the fire here, but because of her stellar performance at the initial opening, she was promoted, and now she's regional chief
I'm sure.
in charge
sure
of
of it, yeah.
every agent.
She's going to work right underneath Cash Patel for
Actually-
half a second.
She's in charge of releasing the information about the Trump assassin that has yet to be released, and so she's going to
Right.
really help that. Jesus
You lead in perfectly because
I do what I can.
because we said DEI in 25 is what we were calling this fucking episode.
By the way, is anyone offended by my sweatshirt that says Redskins? If you are, you can go fuck yourself.
Jesus Christ.
God,
I'm sure
he is on. He must have slept well or something.
2025, baby.
Woo!
Let's go.
he's in. I like it.
Let's go.
I like his snore. He's like, ooh, I'm angry old man. No, you're doing
not-
great. You're
He's
doing
not
great.
old.
But no, we talked about it briefly in the fact of, 2025 came in with a bang, no pun intended,
Mm.
multiple bangs.
Mm.
And we're going to get into the other incident in Las Vegas.
Vegas.
But the fucking superintendent, as I'm calling her, Granny Kirkpatrick
What a numbnut.
of New Orleans PD.
Oh yeah.
What a complete and utter fucktard. And then obviously learning she came from Oakland and she got hired on. But we've got a couple videos, and I've got a couple on the tabs, and I got a couple in the in our little asset area, as we call it. But this clown, I mean, looks like my grandmother.
Oh, I mean,
And she's in charge of New Orleans Police Department. But the fact that and I can't remember if this one does.
What you see behind us is what we call hardening the target. So we have brought in heavy trucks. You will see when you go down Bourbon, you will see yellow, what we call archers, and they're along the sidewalk.
I've never
And
seen
that
you so
would be
upset.
to be preventive if someone had, or if this particular terrorist went around up on the sidewalk, that's what that would do. Okay, it would
That's exactly
slow that down.
Can we
for
just stop the
anyone
video
who
right
thought
there
that
for 1
they
second?
could breach.
It's exactly
Let's put
what
that
he
on
did.
pause.
It's exactly what he did because you didn't have him set. Which we're getting in more videos with her saying that she did not know what she had.
I mean, it's maddening.
Look. Oh, look. After we found out what the terrorists did, then we figured out what we needed to do.
Now we're going to prevent it again.
My
We're
God.
going to prevent it again.
Can I ask a question?
You sure can.
Was she?
And the mayor is such an idiot. If I'm the mayor, I'm walking up right in the middle of that news conference saying, Chief, you're fired.
yeah, but
That's
is
what
she?
I'm doing.
I'm asking, was she elected or hired? Do we know?
She was hired.
I think she was hired.
Okay, so we don't know if they maybe
I
like.
don't think she's
Well, the reason I'm asking, obviously
police chiefs are hired, not elected. Sheriffs are elected.
Okay, she's a police chief. She's not
That's
the
the
sheriff.
city of New
She's a
Orleans.
police chief. Okay, I got it. Because I was wondering if we were facing a
She
similar
got brought,
situation.
she
here.
got brought from Oakland.
Okay.
Applied for the job and got picked.
Maybe it was her speaking skills.
Jesus.
So when I was on the James McGee show the other night, and he's in Lake Charles, Louisiana, which is three hours away.
Yep.
But he knows Louisiana.
Yeah.
He goes, "How in the fuck?" And he went off. How in the fuck can you tell me that there is nobody in Louisiana that could fucking take that job? We had to hire some fucking clown
Mhm.
from
Washington.
Oakland, California.
Yeah.
For Louisiana, right?
Yeah,
You could find-
because
you
that
could-
seems to mesh, right?
Well, Louisiana is a special place. I mean, it's unlike anywhere else in the United
Well,
States.
New Orleans is a shithole, as James said.
I'm telling
It's a
you right
fucking
now.
shithole.
It is, but I mean, let's face
the
it.
first 4 characters you pull off of one of them gator boats down there in the swamp, could have secured that city better than they fucking did. With that, I would bet my mortgage
perfect.
on it. I would fucking bet every fucking thing I have on it.
A lot of things go on in the swamp you don't want to know about.
A lot, but they sure can. They I'm sure they know how to block a fucking street.
They know how to block a street.
God, play the clip.
No, so, I mean, so like with these yellow archers, as they're calling it, we've got other videos. We grabbed a couple of them, but we've got these other videos where her saying she didn't even know she had them.
And she says it later in this
targets. And so those are some of the main differences. We are done in the quarter. Also, you are going to see an incredibly large presence of police.
Ooh.
And we are, though, confident, but we want our community to feel confident and know they are confidently safe. And that's what we're going to do. So right now, I can declare to you that the Bourbon Street is open.
Wait.
Listen to the question. Here comes the question.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Where do those archers come from?
Sorry?
Yellow archers, where do they come from?
Actually, we have them. I didn't know about them, but we have them. And so we have been able now to put them out.
We had them. I didn't know we had them. And then
I've got more. I
also read where the manufacturer that makes these looked at the picture and said
They're wrong.
These are not being deployed correctly.
They're not installed correctly.
Yeah, because if you look at it, if you hit them from this way, you can just push those. Look at that. You see the little spikes in there? Those things fold under, and they need to dig into the ground.
But it depends on which direction you're fucking going.
Well, you should be.
We don't know. We're not there.
Can I
be able to get it from either way. These are not deployed.
Can I say something just so we don't get too far ahead of ourselves? The purpose of her speech right there is actually offensive in itself, because all she's trying to do is reassure people that now, after the tragedy,
after the fact,
after the attack, come on back to Bourbon Street. Why? Because we need the tax dollars. We want your tourism.
15 people are dead.
They're dead.
Yeah.
Instead of addressing where the failures were.
And she says, we don't look behind. We don't look to point fingers or point blame. We move forward.
Those 15 families are going to be pointing the fingers.
It's actually ironic to me.
And their lawsuits are going to be
huge.
Epic.
It's ironic to me that she did not have a PIO.
Attorney.
That she didn't have a public information officer fielding these questions.
Oh, my God.
Because it probably would have been a little bit better. It's still not great, but it would have been a little bit better than this.
We want to show respect, and we gathered in front of the truck. We laid 14 yellow roses down for our 14 victims. And then there was prayer. And then in our culture here in New Orleans is music. And the band came, the second line band, and they played Fly Away. And with respect, we walked down this street to show honor and respect. And memories will always be there. People did not die in vain. As a result, we will be a safer city. We will be a safer country. So their deaths are not in vain. And that is our balance. But we will restore, we will return to normalcy. And we can do that and still show respect and honor.
Resign, you stupid bitch.
That fucking idiot. So tell me you know a lot of police officers. You know a lot of police officers. I know a lot of police officers. Tell me any police officer that really wants to fucking serve under
someone like that.
Somebody like that.
Well, Dan's got a good story pulled up.
Well, yeah. Well, she used to be the police chief of Oakland. When she came to New Orleans early on in her tenure there, she was on duty one night and she ran over a couple of pedestrians driving through the French Quarter.
But she was fired from her previous job.
but not for running people over.
No. But it's not like she had a stellar. It's not like New Orleans went out and hired.
She got fired from Oakland. Actually sued them,
right,
and won a $1.5 million judgment for wrongful termination.
Well, I think if anything,
there was something going on in Oakland.
I think Oakland should appeal based on her performance in that incident. And they're justified in firing her. New Orleans would be justified.
This woman is an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, but let's face it, New Orleans, we have some comments online, and I've been to New Orleans plenty of times. New Orleans is going to be eternally a very troubled shithole because they keep electing poor leadership.
Yes.
Well, look at the mayor. That mayor's a fucking dumbass too.
That's my point. What do you expect? This ties into local politics here, because we just had elections in Hamilton County, and when you elect people stupidly and the wrong people, just based on, sadly, in this instance in New Orleans and in Hamilton County, on party affiliation, the elections have consequences, folks, and that's exactly exhibit A, B, and C there.
And in this case, it's innocent people dead on the street.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, but they had music and bands, and they walked down the street respectfully.
I had two other videos.
You're really pissed about this, and I'm
I
glad you're pissed. Yeah.
I was speaking, and
we're just hitting the tip of the spear.
I mean, I did radio shows on New Year's Day, the day after, and this is what I talked about for 3 days. And I mean,
you didn't even get out of your system.
I'm as angry as I can be because the information keeps coming out. It turns out that they didn't say he was on the radar, but they had information that he had visited New Orleans 3 times prior. So that's the shoe I was waiting for to drop, was what happened. What they said today is that they now, they were able to track this guy's movements. Someone was on to him, and they knew that he had been in New Orleans before, but yet he was able to rent a car,
and it was allowed to happen.
Yeah, put an ISIS flag on it, drive through the streets of New Orleans, and plow people.
You know what caught my eye immediately?
That's fucking Homeland Security.
Right.
That's Alejandro Mayorkas.
Right.
That's Joe Biden.
You know what?
Yes.
You know,
13
fucking
Americans dead at Abbey Gate because of the way he withdrew from Afghanistan.
Right.
That was at the beginning of his time in office.
Right.
Now, on his way out, you've got 15 more Americans dead. 15 other families whose lives are forever ruined because of this incompetent clown in the White House.
You know what caught me? You know what caught my eye really quickly after that happened is immediately the FBI or the police there when they were taking photographs. You know what they did? So you mentioned the ISIS flag on the back of the truck, right? Well, they went and covered it up with a jacket.
Yeah,
really quick. I'm like, why? Why is that?
I couldn't tell if that was a jacket or if they just kind of wrapped it up.
It looked like a vest. Somebody was.
But either way,
why
was
in
not
the world?
flying.
What? But why? Why as the American public, we don't deserve to just see that? I mean, why? What is the point of covering that up?
Well, you know what else they don't want you to see is have you seen the unedited video from New Orleans immediately after it happened?
No, I have not.
And you see those broken bodies on the street. You see the brains that got knocked out of someone's skull in the middle of the street. You see the pools of blood.
Oh, they're not going to show that
all over the place. You see the bodies askew. I've seen it.
Well, yeah,
I didn't see it on TV. I saw it. You'll see it on. You're allowed to see it on the internet.
Well, you can't post it to any social media page because they'll yank it right off.
Scrubbed. Yeah.
So guess what? The next day, there was no. We're laying fucking yellow roses and shit. There was no mourning for it. They probably had the fire department come and fucking spray it off.
Oh yeah.
Fucking clean it up. Guess what? We've got fucking businesses to open.
Oh, there's no question.
Exactly.
Look, Bourbon Street is a nasty. Have you been to Bourbon Street?
Oh yeah, multiple
recently.
Times. Not recently, but
I mean, like in adulthood, not
17,
adolescence.
2017. Was the last time
I mean, it is a dirty, nasty place. It is a dirty, nasty place.
The firemen get paid overtime to fucking come in, grab a spare rig, and spray off all the streets.
The shit, vomit, piss.
Piss.
It's all out there.
Maybe homeless. Homeless.
Now blood.
Now blood.
Yeah. No big deal.
Yeah.
But they had.
It's absolutely horrific.
Dan, they had a band.
And
they played "Fly Away." Come on.
This is the kind of thing that the American people, and it's all so sanitized.
What "Fly Away" song was
the vast majority of the American people have?
Somebody said Lenny Kravitz.
Was it the John Denver one? Fly Away.
But
that didn't work well.
They have no idea just how horrific and ugly scenes like this really are, and we do. The media does a huge disservice to the American people to sanitize the news coverage in such ways
the reason
that they really don't have a clear understanding.
But the reason David J.
asked
a question, or maybe made a comment, and the reason I was concerned about them covering up the flag was because I saw a lot of liberals saying that it was a black and white flag. Everyone said it was a black and white flag, and people were saying, "Oh, it was a MAGA flag." So that was the initial report. It was that I saw people, not of the press, but people were commenting. Oh, it was a MAGA, because I had an interaction with somebody and they go, oh, it was a white truck and they were flying a black MAGA Trump flag and they plowed into there. I was like, you have no proof of that. Turns out it was not a MAGA flag. It was it almost looked like a homemade jihad flag.
I mean, the way, like I said, the way it looked like they wrapped it up.
They did.
They didn't want it to be seen.
They did.
But we've all seen those ISIS flags. We know what they look like. I mean, it's almost a trademark. They probably should have trademarked it, to be honest with you.
No.
And it's sick. And it's so this goes and it ties right into. There's a lot of controversy out right now, and I don't know how many podcasts you guys follow or whatever, but
oh shoot,
Sean Ryan had Sam Shoemate on. Oh, here we go. All right, hold on. I'll just sit here and fuck myself.
No, what we're talking about this?
No,
I'm gonna do two things.
Breaking news from the Post Millennial: Bourbon Street terrorists traveled to Egypt, Canada in years prior to the attack.
So I mean,
so he traveled.
Should you go to Egypt? I mean, maybe not. But I mean, you're a military guy. You're going to Egypt. He had visited New Orleans. I mean, the guy should have been on a radar screen.
That brings me to something else. Why are we seeing from the New York Post? And I didn't make this up. I saw it, so I'm grabbing it off of what somebody else said. But they actually made his house like MTV Cribs with fucking. No. With fucking news media walking through.
Did you see that video?
Yeah. When the fuck does that happen? We didn't do that for the guy that fucking tried to take a shot at Trump.
I have no idea. I mean,
when the fuck does that happen?
I was in television news for more than 20 years, and I can tell you that never happens.
No.
Ever. Especially.
So what's happening?
Especially 48 hours after the incident. While the investigation is still ongoing, they had just made entry into the guy's house less than 24 hours ago. Did you see the video? Oh, look at this workstation over here. There's chemicals and other things all laying
Here's the search warrant sitting on the table. There's something fucked up with this. There's something.
Not just this. The whole thing. Yeah. It's a pattern here.
There's something wrong.
There's a pattern here.
So now it rolls into the Vegas shit. And where I was bringing up. Sean Ryan had an episode with Sam Shoemate, I believe his name is. He's been questioned as far as like his integrity or whatever. It was a very good episode of Sean Ryan's show. It poses some questions. I'm not taking any of that as fact. I don't take any of this shit as fact. But he brought in a lot of things. So that and I don't even really want to, as you want to say, you always say, don't say his name.
No.
Whatever his name was.
Terrorist.
Cybertruck guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that guy, yeah.
We'll just call him Cybertruck guy. He apparently emailed this dude saying, I need to be put in contact with Fox News, Sean Ryan, Joe Rogan, like all the big platforms.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be put in contact with them by December 31st. Because January 1st, I'm gone.
Huh.
So this Sean Ryan episode was good. I don't necessarily believe all of it, but they threw some good possibilities in there. But he emailed him, and he was trying to blow a whistle, supposedly, blow the whistle on some shit that happened in Afghanistan in 2019. And he talked about the fucking drone stuff that we've been dealing with. And he went into detail, and they showed the emails, and whether they're factual or not, I don't know. I can't prove it, but it gives you something to fucking think about. And so we have this, and immediately everybody was like, "Oh my God, they're connected! They're connected." Well, I don't know how you connect them. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I'm not saying that they are. Very ironic, though, and very coincidental that you had two things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But way to start the fucking new year.
Yeah, the narrative.
It's content for us. It's content for the media. It's content for creators. Whatever. But I'm curious. I'm excited to see how this all fucking plays out.
The narrative that's come out, and Las Vegas police did a news conference yesterday. They were really bent out of shape because people were questioning their integrity and how they were handling the investigation. So they put out this guy's manifesto, put out all the information they had. And I say good for the Las Vegas
Good for
police.
them.
I think they've quieted down a lot of the conspiracy stuff that is out there, but it's not going to stop people from trying to make whatever connections there are. I'm going to be honest about the Las Vegas attack. I don't know everything there is to know about it. I've been concentrating more on what's been happening in New Orleans. And
so let me stop you real quick, because David J just made a good comment. So in that episode of Sean Ryan's that happened on, I think the 3rd, I think it was January 3rd. They were like, hey, if Joe Rogan would scrub his email, if anybody at Fox News would scrub their emails, blah, blah. Well, Anti-Hero Podcast, who is associated with Failure to Stop, or was associated with Failure to Stop, they actually got the same email that Sean Ryan got. So that's a little bit close to home. I mean, I know Tyler. I could call Tyler right now, but they got something too.
Well, I mean,
so he pushed it out to fucking everything, because Anti-Hero got really big because they started calling out Tim Kennedy and his stolen valor type shit, and that put them on the map. But they reached out to him, or to them rather, and it's somebody that I could probably ask some questions.
Well, look, kudos to Vegas for releasing all that stuff. I mean, need I remind you, we still have yet to see the manifesto or any information on the assassin of the attempted assassination of Trump, the shooter that did hit his ear. I mean, we haven't. Remember, where's that gone? We haven't heard anything about that.
No, all that stuff goes. Everything goes down the memory.
Goes down the rabbit hole, and we don't get. I mean, if we're in danger or there's something going on, I think we have a right to see it. I think our government owes it to us to let us know.
We're not talking about it anymore.
What's that?
Drones.
Oh yeah, the drones have quieted down.
Right. Weird.
It's because you stopped flying them.
Yeah, I put them all to bed. But no, it's interesting how the news cycle runs.
Short
or
squirrel,
or where they want to redirect
where they push your attention,
where they want you to look.
No question.
And I don't want to throw any more fuel on the
fire.
I
didn't know. Dan has some.
I'm looking at a headline that just got posted an hour or so ago, and this is a New Orleans prosecutor kills himself just days after the terror attack hits the city.
Wow.
Read it.
So New Orleans Parish Assistant District Attorney Ian Kestering discovered dead last night about 9:00 via suicide inside the offices of District Attorney Jason Williams' staff, according to authorities. Cause of death, apparent gunshot wound to the head. Dude was 34 years old. Wow. The New Orleans Parish DA's office says family suffered a terrible tragedy tonight. Beloved member of our office, deep condolences. So all they're saying now is the guy. I mean, do these things are we supposed to believe that these things just happen in the normal course of events? That there's this terrorist attack there. The city is shown to be completely incompetent. Not just the city, but also the FBI office that is there. And now we've got an assistant prosecutor who commits suicide. I mean, are they? I mean, I don't know. I have no clue. I'm just giving you. I just read you all the information that I have on this.
I get it.
But we're supposed to just look at this and say, "Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, that's sad.
It shouldn't happen."
Oh, that's sad.
No, there's a lot going on. There's a lot more going on here than meets the eye.
I can't even imagine the scrutiny that he was already under.
I mean, this guy
right out of the gate, New Year's Day.
Joe Biden could not get out of office soon enough.
Well, and that's your other point. I mean, that as pissed off as you are about everything going on and New Orleans incident, I mean, equally as pissed off, maybe more so, I'm pissed off about what's going on in the White House in the final days of this train wreck of an administration. I mean, I had to sit there and watch Hillary Clinton get are we going to talk about that?
It's a perfect segue.
I mean, are we going to talk about the fact that our White House is nothing more than just everything going on in this administration is just a joke.
Speaking of you being in DC,
I don't have Hillary.
Did I tell you I was at the White House? Did you see my photographs at the White House?
Well, then let me give you this headline. Bomb squad investigates suspicious package 5 miles from the White House ahead of presidential election. certification. Andrew Pappas was in DC there, Keith. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit!
And now we got this headline, and here he is mysteriously back in Cincinnati. Like, oh look, I didn't do anything.
I did forget my hummus,
and
so
I'm just saying.
And it's January 5th. We can't say the other date because we'll get blocked. But it's January 5th, so let's just kind of put that out there.
I'll tell you this: the DC having just come back is really getting. You couldn't really. It's going to be horrific to get around there.
You rubbed some elbows with some people.
I did.
You rubbed some elbows with some people. I'm impressed.
We have. I am very.
I mean, it doesn't make you important. I'm just impressed.
It makes me impotent.
Did you rub elbows with Deborah Wasserman Schultz?
No, I didn't. See. I'll say this. It was. Oh, you guys.
How about AOC?
That's where I was going. So I was in the congressional office building, and there's like three. There's like there's Sam Rayburn. I was in the Sam Rayburn building, and there's a couple others. Right?
Those buildings are magnificent. If you've never been there before and never seen the inside of those buildings, I mean, these people live in splendor.
They do.
I mean, the office buildings. You think when you walk in there, you think like, fuck, this is the Capitol, man. This is like really nice.
So everyone's got their office with their nameplate, their flags, and you could pick the Democrats out because they've got probably a rainbow flag out front or some squirrely flag.
Yeah.
But no, I tried to find AOC's office because I was going to do something in front of her sign, and I was going to have some. Well, I mean,
something newsworthy.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you know me. I'm all about posting photographs. I'm all about capturing the moment. But she was in the other building, and I didn't have time. But so I just literally, while the guys were meeting with a congressman, I was walking the halls, and buddy, they've got like their own barber shop, and the guys just sitting there waiting for the congressman to come in. This was just one building. They have
free haircuts,
commissaries. They have. I mean, they don't have to leave.
No.
Right.
They don't have to leave. And guess what? Guess what else is in there? A whole lot of staff. A whole lot of staff. So everything in there that strikes me about DC, and this was just the Rayburn building that I was in. You know, we're paying for that. I mean, this is not happening just by accident, but for free. And it just blows me away the amount. I can't wait for Doge to get in there and start making some recommendations. I'll put it that way. I mean, it would be really nice.
Right. But
you remember the Kroger cost cutter?
Yeah.
But if you would have gone walking around and walked into, I don't know, the Department of Education or the Environment, EPA or Housing and Urban Development. If you would have walked around any of those buildings, you would have seen empty office after empty office.
Empty offices that are completely furnished and outfitted with computers, and no one's sitting there,
and heated and air conditioned,
and it was warm in those buildings. Let me tell you. I mean, they had their thermostat.
Security personnel are there.
They didn't have the thermostat at 68. They had the thing at like 72. I had to take my jacket off. I was burning up, and there's tunnels that connect all that shit. We built that.
Sure.
There's a subway or a tram, a rail that takes the congressmen and senators across the street underground. They never have to leave ground. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's probably a need for some of that, but I mean, they want for nothing. And you know what else is going on in DC? Non-stop construction. There are cranes. There's road work. There's non-stop. That never changes. And DC is just absolutely. It struck me because you know it hasn't slowed down at all and is accelerated and is just going to keep the growth of government. Government is growing and growing and growing. And I felt like that scene from Star Wars where, you know, they say, never have you seen, I forget the line because I'm not a geek. Maybe you know. But, never seen a bigger collection of miscreants or something or other. He's talking about that one city. I can't remember. Somebody online will remember. But I think that when I'm flying into DC, I'm like, it's just so dirty. And I don't mean dirt.
I've rode my motorcycle through there once.
Were you on that ride or you just rode through there?
No, it just on a trip. And I was like, this place. The history, I only spent 12 hours there.
Oh, yeah.
But riding in and out of there, fuck.
You spent 12 hours in like one museum.
Right. Exactly.
And
I was hitting the outdoor shit as fast as I could.
And you know what else? Those museums are free,
right?
Because they're taxpayer funded.
Yes.
So anyway, it was cool. It was a good trip. We got to see. Look, I'll say this.
You got to see some cool people.
I'll say this: Southern Ohio and Ohio in general is very well represented. I think we have some great reps up there. Jim Jordan, got to meet him, have talk with him. We have a new senator, Bernie Moreno, who I expect big things from. We have a new congressman right next door, David Taylor, fantastic person, fantastic family. Warren Davidson,
he's from
north side of Cincinnati, ditto, fantastic person, fantastic family. We have some great representatives.
What about Greg Lane?
He was on my plane.
Oh.
He was on my flight. He was on my flight.
Yeah? Did you guys swap spit or what?
We did not. I think I'll put it to you this way.
Nobody else cares about Greg's Lane.
I don't think he likes me. I'm just going to go on a limb here. I'm pretty sure he knew who I was, and I was getting the.
He didn't speak to you in the spirit of bipartisanship.
Speak to me,
oh, for God's
and
sake.
I think his wife might know who I am because she was giving me the "I know who you are and I don't like you" look. Now, maybe I was imagining it. Could have been all me, but I will say that.
That's a look you know quite well, that you're quite familiar with.
Oh God, I mean,
are
yeah,
I
drive around Anderson, go to Kroger. No, we have some great Republican representation in DC, and I'm very excited. Very excited.
Kroger actually closed an hour and a half ago because of the snow.
No, they didn't. That was all fucking. That was.
Paula
all,
told me they were.
It was fact. It was.
She
not
believes
factual.
all that shit.
That was not factual.
Are you spreading fake news?
It was.
I
fake
might
news.
be. Okay, there you go. Well, I'm glad you know the truth of the matter.
Are you kidding? Well, although I will say this, I didn't know the other day they had nothing left to sell. They could have closed because I saw pictures
It was
of the.
pretty picked over.
To,
Yeah.
to anybody that's not around Cincinnati,
It's snowing like
We have a level 1 smoke.
we're getting
American
smoked, quote unquote, smoked with snow. Which, if you ask Jill, who's upstairs,
8
she's
inches.
like, "This is nothing."
This is nothing.
Because
I agree with
it's
Jill.
not fit for man nor beast.
she lived in Buffalo.
And I have a snow blower if anybody wants it. $2,000 today. $2,000. It's beat to shit, barely works.
Everybody's freaking the fuck out.
As is, where is.
I love it. I love it. I mean, we potentially
I've got
could
my
get.
power shovel.
We
got
potentially
one of those?
could get
Yeah.
16
Tell me how it
inches
works.
of
Oh,
snow.
it works awesome.
Oh, really?
Yes, but it's great.
You guys
I love
want me
it.
to log off?
No,
No, I'm good.
Figure it
Hey,
out
we're
or-
talking
No.
about the weather.
All right, look.
You
Okay,
guys
no,
doing like-
I want to play this video.
Chopper
Facebook,
Dave.
Facebook Marketplace over here. or
So
what?
Joe Biden has no idea what he's you're going to see. We're going to play a video here of Joe Biden. And Andrew, have you seen this yet of Liz Cheney getting her medal from Joe Biden?
No.
All right. I want you to watch this on Jason's computer because I'm going to comment on this in real time. But the body language in this video is absolutely priceless.
Oh, dude, it's so disgusting.
The medal that Liz Cheney gets here is the second highest civilian honor that you can get.
I thought it was the first.
That would be the Presidential Medal of Freedom that he gave to George fucking Soros.
I thought these were all. I thought these.
Remind me. Let's get back to that.
And Hillary.
Wait, let's get back to that. But after this.
But this
I
was
thought these are all medals of freedom.
no. This was a
They're all
couple of
same.
days. This was a different ceremony.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry.
this
I
was
misunderstood.
Liz Cheney and the other guy. What's the other guy that headed up the January 6th committee?
Oh, the
Democrat.
Democrat.
The hell's his name?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't work here anymore.
But Liz Cheney sold her soul. Did you read that article I sent you?
Yes, I did.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, Liz Cheney
Focus.
sold her soul.
And she's facing some serious charges potentially, unless she gets pardoned, which is possible.
And the only other politician I can think of whose mind is probably more gone than Joe Biden is probably her dad, Dick Cheney. I mean,
Yeah.
Dick Cheney has lost his fucking mind. So
Well, Nancy,
I'm looking at this. I'm watching this video and just watch the body. We might play this a couple of times because there's so much to look at here.
It's gross. It's fucking gross.
Yeah, but we all know Joe Biden is just
Elizabeth
a
L.
dick.
Cheney for putting the American people over
Joe,
party.
watch this. Watch what Joe Biden does here.
Putting people over politics.
Now
Or
watch. Here
people
he
over
goes.
party.
He's going to present the medal. Now look at his right hand. He's got a death grip on her right now. She wants to get that medal and get out of there. And Joe Biden, with his left hand,
He's still pulling her back.
he's like, you're not taking this yet.
Pulling her back.
He's like,
He actually did like
yeah.
one of those.
He's like, we are going to stand here and get video and pictures. He's now telling her, your political career is now mine. I own you because you sold your soul to the Democrats. And she's like, I don't want this. I don't.
he was yanking her like Walls was yanking his kid around that
They're all-
stage.
And
Elizabeth
Let's- one
L.
more time.
Cheney for putting the
actually
American
worth it.
people over
I mean,
party.
Joe Biden.
It's the most uncomfortable.
He is an asshole. But Liz Cheney's getting everything she deserves right here. Now, look at the hand. Look at the grip. Look at that grip.
Now wait. He pulls it. He pulls it.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
So here, she wants that medal.
Walk away. 2 steps away. One
No,
step.
no, get back here.
No.
Look at her eyes. She rolled her eyes too.
Not going anywhere yet. And then he pulls the medal away. Yeah, you're not done yet, Liz.
The only thing,
Yeah. Look at all those cameras out there.
the only thing that would have made that better if he'd have smelled her hair.
He leaned in for a little sniff.
That's the only thing that would have made that better. What a fucking.
Oh,
what a
my
class.
God.
All I can tell you
I
is
don't feel bad for Liz Cheney at all. But
Me neither.
Joe Biden
Not one bit.
I mean, that guy's a jerk. He
So-
is a jerk, but Liz Cheney got everything that she deserved right there.
Well, let's hope she continues to get everything she deserves with this new administration when they come in, new Congress investigating her, deleting information, deleting evidence.
I'm going to look at some of the
in
comments
regards to
here.
the January 6th incident and their bullshit trial that they had.
Falk around to find out. Says, what is this, Mean Girls? The movie Mean Girls. And then as someone from they're making fun.
But you know,
David J's making fun for our snow totals.
to my way of thinking, what that is that is Joe Biden saying, if you want your pardon, if you want to be protected from Donald Trump's Department of Justice and not have to face the consequences that you actually deserve, then you will come up here and you will kiss my ass and you will get these pictures taken and you will now be a Democrat. You will never run as a Republican again.
Oh, well, that's a given.
Yeah, but
That's
I'm just saying he's letting her know that her political career is over,
Here's what I hope happens. I hope the Republicans take note of what
and
what
she
they
will
did.
get the pardon because she
Pardon or
suffered
not,
through that.
pardon or not. Here's what they need to do. They need to have a full investigation, make the results public the way they kind of released Matt Gaetz's stuff. Remember, they released his thing when they weren't supposed to after he quit. And that's what Democrats do. I mean, you know what? They know how to fight. And Republicans will be like some dumb, I'll say it out loud. Some dumb Republicans like, oh, well, she was pardoned. There's nothing we can do. No, hold the investigation, make the results public, and embarrass the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And make it that she cannot, in the court of public opinion, run for office ever again. I mean, where's she going to go? Montana? That's where was
But
Wyoming?
here's the thing about Matt Gaetz, though. I mean, if you read that report, it was a lot of salacious.
There's a
shit
lot
in
of
there.
salacious shit, and but I will say
But
this.
here we are, 5 days into the new year. Who gives a shit
No one
about
cares.
that anymore?
No one cares about
Look
it.
at all the shit that's happened since then.
Oh yeah, it's got buried.
I mean, yeah.
But I mean, it's
There's
going
no
to
one
be
happier than Matt Gaetz right now.
no. But I mean, and to be fair, the witness was really specious in Gates's deal. But my point is that they tried to release the information. They didn't say, "Oh, he's gone. Let's not do it." They still did it, and that's what we need to do: fight dirty, fight fire with fire, destroy her reputation, make it that she has no future in politics, and she's still fairly young. Look at Nancy Pelosi's been there for how many years, and how old is she?
Fucking
She's running
108.
again.
She's 108.
She broke her hip. That would kill most people physically.
It
and she's
actually-
going to run again.
It actually rolls into we've got a new newcomer into the chats. Dick Schuler is in the chats. Our buddy Dick Schuler, Esquire. He said she had nice legs, though.
That's not accurate. That's just not.
That's not accurate. So we're going to keep on with that.
Nothing about her I find remotely.
We're keeping on with that with phase because Dan sent me this that
For God's sake.
Biden just gave the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Jose Andres.
Yeah.
Who appears in photos with Trump's
That's
would-be
where
assassin.
and I'm glad you went there. That's exactly what I was going to
Well,
say.
I try to segue shit, and you two fuckers take it.
He's
18
angry.
ways
So,
that
but
way.
here's the deal. This is another example
This is why we
of Joe
meet early
Biden
and
being a
talk.
complete and utter asshole.
He is.
Dan's words, dick. Okay.
He's a jerk.
He's a jerk. He's
First
a
class.
mean. Everyone
Yeah.
wants to put on this air that Joe Biden is a nice old man that just didn't know better, doesn't know what he's doing.
he was being directed.
Soiling himself, incontinent. Joe Biden is a mean, vindictive asshole. Always has been. The trucker whose life he tried to ruin in the accident involving his wife, he lied about that guy for decades.
Sure.
Decades. And Joe Biden lies about everything. Joe Biden is a very mean, a very vindictive, a very evil person. And the only thing that gives me pleasure is he can't hold his own feces in. And he's going to spend the rest of his life soiling himself. And that gives me pleasure. So there, I said it.
Well, the fact that
This episode brought to you by Depends Undergarments.
I wish
The thought of Joe Biden
That'd be
soiling
great.
himself gives you pleasure.
No, sitting in his own crap is gives me a lot of pleasure because you know what? There's no. I mean, the guy deserves every bit of that.
He's
a piece of shit.
Outside of Biden, I don't know any background of this dude that got the fucking medal.
I don't know anything about him, but I do.
Jose Andres, but he obviously was hanging out with the guy that fucking tried to kill fucking Trump.
The guy that tried to kill Trump. I mean, they know this shit. And I heard Soros described on the news. You know what they described George Soros as? Guess. He's a philanthropist. Did you know that,
for
Dan?
God's sake.
Dan, he's a philanthropist. He's a billionaire philanthropist.
Do you want to know what I know about George Soros? And look, George Soros is a guy that
pictures of Soros
that I don't talk about all the time. But my friends over at Gateway Pundit dug up an interview that George Soros did with 60 Minutes years ago with remember Steve Croft from 60 Minutes?
Mm-hmm. That's a name.
Yeah, but he was doing the interview with George Soros, and I'm scrolling through because I've got it in here somewhere. I just got to find it real quick. But essentially, they were asking about his time
in Hungary
during the war.
Yeah, I've heard this.
And he was a young guy.
Yeah,
and He collaborated with the Nazis.
Correct.
And here's what.
God, who's telling a fucking story? Jesus.
I'm
just bleeding. He's trying to find the article.
No, I got it right here.
I'm trying to fill it.
Steve Croft.
You don't have to.
You're a Hungarian Jew who escaped the Holocaust by posing as a Christian. You watched lots of people get shipped off to the death camps. George Soros. I was 14 years old, and I would say that's when my character was made. In what way? That one should think ahead, that one should understand and appreciate or anticipate events, and one is threatened. It was a tremendous threat of evil. I mean, it was a very personal experience of evil. My understanding is, says Steve Croft, that you went out with this protector of yours who swore that you were his adopted grandson, went out, in fact, and helped in the confiscation of property from Jews. That's right. Yeah, sounds like an experience that would send lots of people to the psychiatric couch for many years. Was it difficult? George Soros, not at all. Maybe as a child you see the connection, but it didn't create a problem at all. And then asked him if he felt any guilt about taking property from his fellow Jews. And essentially he's like, no, I have no sense of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
No problem at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this guy is at the very least a Nazi sympathizer,
collaborator,
and he's made billions of dollars through investing, and he spends that money on things like, I mean, you name the left-wing organization, right, and chances are
exactly.
that George Soros,
he throws his name.
It's all left-wing.
Yeah, George Soros is a financier of it. A lot of it winds up finding its way into the hands of terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
The foundation. This is George Soros's. What the hell's the name? Alliance for Global Justice. Let's see. Founded in 1998, the Alliance for Global Justice. Hold on a second. This article's fucked up the way it's written. But anyway, it essentially talks about how these different networks, a different organization that he sends money to, a lot of this money winds up into the hands of terrorists. So he does it not directly, but through indirect sources. The other thing that he does is he has supported left-wing prosecutors all across the United States.
Gascon in Florida. I mean, in California.
Yeah.
Big time.
Alvin Bragg in New York.
Big time.
Is another prosecutor that he supports.
He believes that.
And I even think this prosecutor that ran against.
It's possible. I don't know if that's true or not.
The one here in Hamilton County.
That would.
You don't know?
No, I don't know, and I don't want to say that until we know.
But
we could look at her campaign report, Connie Pillage, and see if she got any money from George Soros.
But let's, and you asked me, why does it make a difference? Why does it make? It's okay. So what? He supports prosecutors and MSNBC. Oh, perfectly legal. All is fine, and everything else. Well, the real life consequences of these sorts of actions are people getting injured, maimed, and killed, as we saw in New Orleans.
Here,
Jason, pull up that story from the New York Post.
Here's something I'd like to show you. Deals exactly what you're talking about right here. What is this? What is that? Toothpaste, right?
All right.
What is it behind?
It's behind.
It's locked.
It's locked. Yeah, you can't. Is that
So
a Target?
I'm in
Is that a Target
DC.
store?
No, this is a downtown
Oh, for
DC.
God's sake.
You want to talk about what happens when you have shitty prosecutors?
All right,
Yeah.
so
We have to lock up toothpaste because they're not enforcing crime. They're
for
not
everybody
enforcing law.
else, that doesn't see this, that's not in Andrew's phone. If you want to go get Sudafed and you need an ID to fucking scan it or whatever, and everything's locked up. That's essentially what he was trying to do.
No. But this is toothpaste.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to explain.
All right, so go on my
'Cause not
Facebook
everybody-
feed.
not everybody
No, they
sees
do.
that.
They see it. They're
No,
on my
they
feed.
don't.
But here's the deal. It starts with this, and Dan's right. You know, he gets. You said, "Oh, well, it's legal." You back these prosecutors that are weak on crime, and your city goes to shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens because they don't prosecute crime.
Yeah.
They legalize crime, and then families can't live there. I was trying to buy a tube of toothpaste. I had to wait 15 minutes for a woman to come unlock
for
it
God's sake.
Just to get it out of the
just to get it out of the case.
So, Jason, pull up that, if you could, please, pull up that story from the New York Post that I sent you. Because right now, today, as we speak, there is a manhunt underway in New York City for a dude. Look, what have we seen recently from the subways of New York City? We saw a guy set a woman on fire, where she burned to death. We saw video of a dude pushing a guy in front of a train, right on New Year's Day. We saw a couple of days ago video of 3 or 4 teenage girls who attacked a 70-year-old woman,
Right. Yeah.
who
She fought
thankfully
back. She
was
fought
able to
back.
fight back against them. And now we have this guy in New York City stabbing people on the subway. Okay. How many prior arrests did he have there? What's it say in the headline? How many prior arrests for this dude?
I don't know.
It says right there in the headline.
I scrolled through
Yeah.
it because 87 priors.
Wow. 87 prior arrests. And the prosecutor in New York is supported by George Soros, Alvin Bragg. So when the prosecutors don't lock up a scumbag like this, people wind up getting stabbed. And look, here's a picture of him with his knife.
Mm-hmm.
And so this guy is known. And he's been arrested for stabbing people and beating people up and robbing people and all this 87 times.
This rolls right into the fucking Daniel Petty shit where he fucking protected people on a subway, got his life completely wrecked. Now it may be fixed, hopefully.
Well,
but he took a period of his life that while he was behind bars.
because he was prosecuted by a George Soros prosecutor who made him the criminal rather than the criminals.
Weird.
And here's the deal. And I don't want to sound like a broken record.
And that's the kind of guy that Joe Biden wants to give
Not only
the
that,
highest civilian award in this country, too.
not only that, you had best prepare yourself locally because we could be headed for something very similar here.
You were absolutely correct.
And I want people to be aware of the fact that what happens there didn't happen by accident. It was a result of shitty prosecutors, soft on crime, terrible judges. I don't know, maybe like that let criminals out on zero bails, zero bail bonds on their own recognizance, and police don't even want to arrest them anymore because they're out before the police finish filing the report.
Right.
Now we have one locally that does that. I forget her name. What's her name again?
That judge.
Silverstein.
I forget her name.
Silverstein.
Yeah.
So I mean, listen.
Oh, it's wonderful. All the women voted for her because she's a woman. Isn't that great?
Yeah,
well,
my body, my choice. Well, when you're getting stabbed or shot, doesn't really matter whose body it is because they don't care about your politics. They just want your stuff. And
then the CEO of Allstate says that we need to check ourselves because we're hooked on that. They're not a sponsor of the show.
No, they're not.
Oh, that guy's a fucking douchebag.
Allstate pulled that ad. Allstate pulled that ad. They pulled it.
Did they?
They pulled it offline.
Well,
now
good.
it's still being shared.
But the guy still said it.
And the guy still said and, thinks it.
On the day when 15 people are killed in New Orleans, we're supposed to check ourselves.
It's our fault.
Because we have divisiveness.
It's our fault.
It's all our fault.
We're not all in love with
I blame you, Dan.
Fucking Muslim boy who wants to go fucking plow people down. Fucking Haji motherfucker. I'm sorry.
You are hot.
I'm pissed.
He's hot.
Well, all right. Well, we do have a really good sponsor.
Yeah. Rolling into that.
And his name is Rick Barrick. When the time comes to borrow money, doesn't matter who you are, there are always questions that you have. And we'd like to have you consider our friend Rick Barrick. He's been helping people for thousands. I was going to say thousands of years, but that wouldn't make any sense. He's been helping thousands of customers for more than 26 years. And he does it. He teams up with Cross Country Mortgage, which is the second largest mortgage company in America. So they can combine all that information to offer solutions for every borrower. You're talking about a new home purchase, maybe a refinancing, a low interest home equity line of credit, and you want to consolidate some debt. Talk to Rick. He's got all the options that you could possibly have, and they can tailor a program that is unique and fits your situation. So maybe you've had a credit score that isn't all that great, maybe a challenge in the past getting a loan. Rick Barrick can help you out. You might be surprised. All you have to do is give them a call, 513-383-2923, or email Rick at rick.barrick@ccm.com. Get you on the right path, and you'll be just a step away from personalized mortgage solutions.
I
was waiting.
NMLS number 18738.
There you go.
I was trying. Yeah, I'm sorry, I screwed up the N.
I was going to do it. I was
going to wait if you did it.
You normally
maybe we should try to just see who does it first.
Right.
NMLS number.
No,
Hey, listen, Dan,
we
really good. You can do
we
it at the same
appreciate
time.
Rick.
Can I say something?
Hold on. We
about
appreciate
Dan?
Rick and
Absolutely.
the fact that his sponsorship is putting us out there on live stream. So
Very
it's
much
huge.
so.
It's huge.
Here's what I want to say about Dan. People might be like, God, Dan's really pissed off. I think Dan is a veteran.
I think it's good.
And I think it's fantastic. And I think it's got to hurt maybe a little bit deeper veterans that, sacrifice their lives for this country in either actually or, serving the country at the time. And they're like, this is not the shit I signed up to serve for. And this is not the country I wanted it to become. I hear that constantly on honor flights. And that's why he's pissed off. And that's why he's mad. I mean, am I right or am I wrong here?
Well,
on a level.
No, you are striking a chord, and a lot of what you say is true. And this is a lot of people don't have what I have in that I'm able to come on the podcast, I'm able to go on my radio show, and I'm able to vent and get it all out. Because a lot of this, and I don't know why I internalize so much of this stuff, but it's just, when I think about 15 people dead on the streets in New Orleans, that didn't have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have to happen. And now we have all this, people running around with all this hand wringing going on, instead of looking at the issue in the clear light of day. You want to obfuscate, and you have this idiot police person who's talking about, we walk down the street with respect. Well, that doesn't do a damn bit of good. We need to live in the real world. And when you don't, there are real life consequences for, even though the issue may seem small. Oh, you've got, the DEI party on a military base, or, kids in a military school reading rainbow books and all that shit. Okay, well, maybe that in and of itself is not that big of a deal. But when you look and you follow these issues to their conclusion, the real life consequences are people get hurt, people get killed, and it doesn't have to happen. Because
what happens is, because of issues and theories like DEI, policies like DEI, what happens is the woman in the police chief in New Orleans, obviously incompetent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously something broke down there. The barriers were not installed. That's his point, that she didn't even know where the barriers that were there afterwards, when they're like, hey, come on down. The water's fine. We washed all the blood and guts off the sidewalk. So come on in, right? It's safe now, but it wasn't safe then. It should have been safe the whole damn time.
Yeah. You should have known your assets that you had.
Right.
You are the top person.
Right. But
and
she is,
and you have people underneath you that are telling you, okay, here's what we need. You may not even do anything.
She was in a position that she probably wasn't qualified for. She was obviously fired by another city. Whether or not she won a suit, who gives a shit? Another thing is, and then you flip on the TV, and Allstate, a company that makes money, of selling product to Americans, gets on TV, their CEO, and tries to tell everybody,
sponsor for the Sugar
college
Bowl.
football, sits there and tells the very people that are his boss, because he actually, the customers, who works for the customers always right. He's telling the customers it's their fault. You need to change your attitude. You need to be better. You're wrong. You hold grudges, whatever. You're the evil one. You can get shit shoved down your throat by Democrats and everything's okay. It's our fault because we're not open-minded enough. Well, something bad happens and you're pissed off about it. It's still your fault that you're pissed off that something bad happened. You're the issue. And I hope the Allstate guy. Now, here's the deal. I'll lay my cards on the table. When it comes to CEOs, sometimes. Well, here's the deal.
This is horse shit.
CEOs sometimes, what I don't understand, it seems like it's a game of musical chairs. Like you have a CEO of one company and he gets fired or he quits or he moves on, and then he becomes CEO somewhere else. And they all kind of, it's almost like a club. They all kind of move around a little bit. And I'm like, okay.
It's like being a school superintendent almost.
Yeah. And then what I don't understand is some of these,
it's like watching Wall Street, the original Wall Street. I'll just leave here. I'll go here.
Some of these CEOs, I'm like, these corporations are so big, they're pretty much running themselves. The CEO doesn't pull gold bricks out of his ass, but he makes gazillions of dollars a year. And I don't know what actual decisions he actually makes. This idiot is probably making gazillion dollars a year. And it just reinforces my opinion. What for? Why is he making money? What does he do well?
I don't know what
he manages people.
Oh,
I don't know what Allstate's
my ass.
I don't know what Allstate's
the
DEI
quotes?
policy is right now. But when you look at, there's a lot of companies out there and a lot of colleges that are getting away from this stuff because they've looked at it and they know that it doesn't work anymore.
Something else I wasn't even going to bring up. We're a little bit over, but I mean, we're fine. So our buddy Danny Reed brought up this article.
Danny Reed.
That
Happy New Year, brother.
So the title of this show was DEI in 25, right? Just because of that fucking police chief, because she's definitely a DEI hire. So he said there was either 17 or 27 professors that were hired at Ohio State. Like they did a study, Ohio State University, that are just teaching DEI courses, making anywhere from 120, I'm going to say 120, I don't have this facts, to $300,000
a year.
Yeah.
Teaching a DEI
taxpayer
course.
money.
No question.
That's a ton of fucking teachers and a lot of fucking money.
Let me ask you a
teaching this fucking bullshit.
What do you do? Let's say, and they probably offer degrees in the shit. So I get out and I have a DEI degree.
You're getting hired anywhere you fucking want.
What the fuck am I going to do?
You're getting hired anywhere you want, because guess what? All you have to say is, well, I got a DEI degree.
I got a DEI degree.
And if you don't hire me, well, you're not accepting this.
I mean, what I'd like
now,
to say
hopefully after January 20th, this shit
that's right.
goes
It stops.
away.
And what I want them to say after January 20th is, do you want fries with that?
Yes.
With their DEI
That's
degree?
fine.
That's
what I
fine.
want to say. Make sure the fry oil is the fucking temperature it needs to be, so they're not burnt.
I don't want them over.
That's all I fucking want.
Look.
But no, it's amazing where our fucking world has gone. You guys are older than I have, or older I am, so you have seen a lot more changes than I have. But I mean, we're fairly close. But the shit that I've seen since I became a grown man, working, for a living, like paying taxes, doing all the things, you guys did it a little bit longer. This is fucked up.
It is.
And I just hope that we can make the switch.
The pendulum swings.
And it's going to swing again the other way.
By the next time we do our next podcast, Joe Biden is going to have done at least a half a dozen things that's going to piss us off all over again. And
yes.
I mean, what is the date today?
Wait a second. Wait.
The 5th?
Wait, the next podcast?
Sunday the 5th.
How about by the time we get home? That's why are you setting the bar so high?
But I'm saying, we got 15 more days.
Actually, I'm going to pull you both out on the carpet while we're live.
We've got 15
so we can schedule
15 more days of this.
Let's schedule one.
What could happen?
And I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
Can we do on Wednesday? Are you guys available Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Let me
unless it's really snowing up north, and then I'm going.
Dan might not be available.
Here's the deal.
Let me check my.
Try to do it live.
While Dan's looking at this thing, can I make one public service?
Thursday.
Can I make a public service announcement, please?
Please do it.
It is snowing here in Cincinnati.
Thursday's better for me than I can't do Wednesday.
Let's do Thursday.
All right, that's fine.
Thursday the 9th.
That's fine.
We're coming to you Thursday night, 5 p.m.
There we go.
Check. Mic check. Listen, it's snowing outside. All right. Could people please because I know that in my neighborhood I have a hill, and as I was driving over here, could you please not play in the street? I realize that you have. I mean, I almost seriously. There's a couple people playing in the street. I mean, I just don't want. I want people to be safe. I know it's snowing. It doesn't snow much in Cincinnati, but people are still driving out there.
New Orleans police
Could you,
superintendent.
guys?
Sorry, kids.
I mean, listen. There's cars driving. Don't. The streets are not a playground. Let's get out of the streets.
No, they are for me, but.
Oh, are you going to go play in the street?
Fuck yeah.
Wait till I leave.
Hey, so our sponsor, Rick Barrick, just chimed in. He said, my son's in one of their classes at Ohio State, and she's a complete libtard.
The teacher.
Yeah, the teacher.
The teacher.
And he said it's a mandatory class. They all have to take it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a mandatory class. Well, you know
but
what?
I'm glad our sponsor, Rick, was in here.
Hey, Rick,
I appreciate that.
my comment to
We
Rick.
appreciate your help.
We do. And Rick, I'd get a hold of the school, and I'd let them know that you're not happy about it. I mean, you pay the bills. And that's terrible.
Zoe just turned 13, and I can't. It scares me as to what she is. A super, super intelligent girl.
She is. She's a smart girl.
She's. No doubt. She's gonna do great things, but I'm afraid of what they're gonna make. What they're gonna make her take. Those classes. Like,
is she in Forest Hills?
Yes.
Okay, well, here's something. You want to stay up? You want to get some more gray hairs? One more vote is all they need.
I know.
And Jason Simmons, our buddy Jason Simmons, that talks constantly.
I said I might run for school board.
Well, I think we need candidates, and all they need is one more vote locally.
Would I have your support?
Sure. All they need is one more vote locally. Sure.
That doesn't seem very.
Dude, listen, let me tell you something. We need good, normal people to stand up and run for these local offices. I don't want the likes of Jason Simmons or Wendy Biederman making, and now I don't have kids in the district, but, I see that what they're pushing, and I have some serious questions about why they are focusing.
He hasn't let go of this whole notion that kids should be watching porn in school.
No, he's still talking.
I mean, all
right, hurry up, finish up, because I got to piss.
Does he have any other issues?
I'm not watching what he wants.
I mean, for God's sake, man!
Somebody should watch his phone.
They
pictures.
said no. Why can't you let it go and move on to something else?
Because he knows better. He wants to teach you how to watch porn.
Fucking asshole!
You fucking asshole! Everybody,
people tell me I've met this guy before, but I don't think I have.
He's very forgettable.
Yeah, I don't.
Unless you're at a school board meeting listening to what's coming out of his mouth, then he's very unforgettable.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you Thursday, 5 p.m.
Hit the like button.
Happy New Year.
Hit the like button, download. Make sure you hit the audio.
Tell your friends, tell your neighbors.
If you're just watching, download the audios, please. Spotify, Apple, anywhere you get them.
I got to go dig out my car.
Yeah, I'm
going to go plow you in.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I could go 17 ways to Sunday to that.
Ooh.